Hey everyone, it is Black and White with Brian Rundle and the phenomenal Lana Quest.
And I'm early.
Lana's early. She's on time. She's prepared as always. She looks great.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I think like he knows now when I'm on the laptop because like it's nuts, right? He's going crazy right now.
Who's he?
Bear.
Oh, the dog.
Yeah, Bear's going crazy. Like,
well, Bear's a superstar. He was on your last show.
Yeah. Now he's like, yeah, she's got that thing again. Let me come over.
I see that thing glowing up by her mouth. We're both wearing red, by the way.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up. Come appreciate it.
Yeah. Lana and I were just whining about the Celtics before we came on here, and I'm not going to talk too much about it because it makes me very sad, and I don't really – it's fucking already a sad time, so why make it more sad?
Right.
But just anyway, you doing okay?
New York. Why New York? Ugh.
The only thing, and I hate to say it, because I'm such a diehard New York Mets fan, I know a lot of Knicks fans or Mets fans root for the Knicks. So don't get me wrong. I will never root for any team over the Boston Celtics at all. But it's been so long since the Knicks had won. And I love New York. I love Manhattan. So I wouldn't mind seeing it. And I love that guy, Jalen Brunson, on the Knicks. He's so good, man. He's just so good. But whatever. Let's hope we can still pull it out. A miracle. It doesn't look like it's going to happen at this point. But Lana, I'm not sure many people have tuned into Black and White with Brian Rundle and Lana Quest to listen to our analysis about the Celtics game. I think they would tune in because they want to hear what we have to say about what is going on in the world. And one of the big stories of the week is Donald Trump has pretended like he is lowering prescription medication for everybody. Yeah. And just like he always does, he comes out and says that he has this grand plan. Most of the time when he explains it, it appears as if he has no idea what he's talking about. Yeah. And this is absolutely no exception. This is him, Lana, taking to the podium and explaining exactly what this means for the American people. Lana, after we're done, you let me know if you can understand anything that he had to say.
I will.
So for the first...
What? Wait. Lana.
Wait, what happened?
We need a production manager.
What happened?
The way they do this now, they changed the system. So the last clip I put on there, you have to remove it. So if I hit play on the one clip that I want to play.
They play the last one.
What's this? Okay, we're going to try this again, Lana. Here's Donald Trump trying to explain to the American people how he is making drug prescription medications lower and better for the American people. And again, I ask you, Lana, if you don't mind to explain to me what he said after we're done.
Sure.
In many years, we'll slash the cost of prescription drugs, and we will bring fairness to America. Drug prices will come down by much more, really, if you think 59. If you think of a drug that is sometimes 10 times more expensive, it's much more than the 59%. It depends on the way you want to analyze it, but in one way you could analyze it that way. But between 59 and 80, and I guess even 90%. So when I worked so hard in the first term, and if I got prices down, remember I was the only one to ever get prices down for a full year, but I'd get them down like 2%, and I thought it was like a big deal. Well, we're getting them down 60, 70, 80, 90%.
Fuck it, 100.
More than that, if you think about it,
right? You just
mathematically.
Pull the rest of it.
And Farmer has.
Listen to the last part, Lana.
But actually more than that, if you think about it in the way mathematically.
Yeah, Lana, I don't know if you took the time to think about it mathematically, because it sounds like a great plan where you're just taking prescription medications and doesn't really lay out exactly what the plan is. He's just explaining to everybody 60, 70, 80, 90, maybe even more if you do the math.
Maybe more. He's like reading the stuff for the first time. It's like, oh, 59? Oh, maybe even 85. Oh, but when I was president the first time, I was able to get him down 2%. It's like, just
Didn't Biden already do this?
exactly. Actually did this. Like, actually did this. Not some, was this an executive order?
Mhm.
Why don't we go through Congress? Like, if you really wanted this to happen, you would actually send it to Congress and let's make a law. But you're not going to do that because you're gaslighting America again, and fucking stupid MAGA, as you call them, flying monkeys.
Mhm.
Believe this shit. They work for Big Pharma. He's literally not going to impose anything, take anything away from Big Pharma. Like, he's just not doing it. He's already promised them tax cuts. Why would he be doing that?
You know, if I'm not even mistaken, Joe Biden's plan to lower, because he had the Inflation Reduction Act, which capped the insulin price at $35 across the board. But I believe he did have an executive order that said we are now going to negotiate with all of the drug companies to bring down these prices. And Donald Trump came in and he got rid of that executive order. And he basically is saying, I'm doing what Joe Biden was going to do the first time, and now I'm going to take credit for it. That's all this is. But again, he doesn't even know how to explain it. He uses, I just don't understand how these.
It's even going to happen right now. Like, I don't, you know what I mean?
It won't.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, there was already negotiations and a deal met and prescription costs were being lowered, but now what he got rid of it, they got to go back to the same. Like, what are we talking about right now? Like,
No, like I said, it's all show. And this is what this guy does. And it's because he has brainwashed a very large amount of the American people. And now he's going to take credit for something that Joe Biden had already done. And of course, there's going to be plenty of people who jump on the back of this and say it. But I think the difference between Joe Biden is he comes up to the podium, even at his older age, and even when he's a little slower, can explain to the American people what's going to be done, how it's going to be done, and in what time frame. All Donald Trump does is, like he does literally every time, is just say words in a sentence, and you hope that he gets through it coherently. And then when he knows he doesn't know what he's talking about, he just throws out stuff like 60, 70,
exactly.
80, 90%. He sounds like one of these used car.
Better than Biden. Like,
sounds like a used car commercial.
Yeah.
It's just, it's so embarrassing. And the fact that people fall for this is, like I said, I think this is the kind of stuff that we're going to have to go through for a very long time. But again, these are the other kinds of distractions that are taking away from the kind of government that we are really running into, because this, what he just said, ultimately means nothing. I've had people personally come to me and say, I know you hate Trump, but if this goes through, will you at least give him credit? And I'm just like, listen, here's the thing. I don't care if this goes through. Yes, it's great for the American people if it does go through. I think he said that they have to come to him in 30 days and make some plan. But these are plans that have already been in the works under Joe Biden.
Right.
But I'm saying, stop trying to force me into giving credit to a guy. If he does one thing good, he does 50 things bad. So I'm not going to give credit to the guy that does one thing good and does 50 things bad. Sorry. Or even 20.
Right. Because if I wanted to keep people worshiping me while I was robbing them, I'm going to give them a little, I'm going to throw them out some stuff every now and again, just to keep them on the hook, just to keep them thinking like I'm doing something for them while I'm taking more than I'm giving. Like, and that's the part that they don't understand. Like, does he do some things? I guess. Like, I still have yet to see the good that he's done. Like, I literally can't, I rack my brain. I can't find anything good that he has done, because this particular person, maybe Republicans, at all at large, but this guy doesn't do anything unless it benefits him. So you have to question every thing that he does. Like even bringing the hostage home, right? The last one. You have to question, what did he give Hamas? Because now they did the negotiations straight with the terrorist. They talked to the terrorist. What was that like? Where was the readout on that? Do we not get a readout on that? Like, how did that conversation go? Hey, you better, like, they're not afraid of, like, you know what I mean? Like, what was it? Because we've heard him talk to Mexico about the wall, and we heard him go, come on, just say anything. Just say you did it. Just say you did it.
Yeah.
So that's how he gets.
Just like he did with Zelensky when he called him up and said, just say there's bad things about Biden and we'll give you the money that we already allocated to you.
Exactly. So everything is a production with this guy. So I don't even think that deal with Hamas, we may have given something up.
Well, the other thing too is, Lana, what you alluded to is what he does understand are the things that do benefit him. He doesn't understand anything else. He has no idea what he's talking about with these drug prices, with tariffs, with hostage. This guy knows nothing. And it is so crazy that people give him so much credit for things. But Lana, this guy's at the same place and he got bored. And I don't know if you recall, but during the time that he was on his campaign trail, he had little nicknames for people. And there was one nickname he had for Joe Biden. It was Sleepy Joe, because Sleepy Joe falls asleep all the time and he's old and he really can't handle himself anymore. Well, here's Donald Trump in the middle of the meeting apparently this was with the Saudi Arabians. And this is him while Fox News is talking about some of the things that went on at this meeting, but they zoomed in on him, and it's pretty interesting to see what happens with old Donald, being
out of Saudi Arabia. And Mohammed bin Salman is saying we need a resolution on a Palestinian state. And I don't necessarily recall several years ago, pre-October 7th, as that being a demand that he had necessarily stated publicly. Do you think his position has changed? Or do you think the way he has expressed himself has that?
You recognize that move, Lana, don't you? I mean, anytime you're in the place and you're falling asleep and you're kind of doing that head lift thing, we all know what that means. And let's not pretend, although the flying monkeys, you know what they'll say, he was praying. Of course, he was praying.
I thought they would say he's jet lagged, like he didn't sleep the whole time on the plane.
Maybe that's one, because I always hear whenever they show him falling asleep like he did at the Pope's funeral, when nobody else's eyes were closed, they would claim that he was praying. But I find it ironic that the guy who makes nicknames, and one of those nicknames was Sleepy Joe, he seems to not be able to stay awake during very important meetings.
Important meetings.
Well, Fox News is zoomed in on him falling asleep.
Hilarious. But again, his supporters would not say that. Like you said, they say he's praying, or he's got jet lag. He's fine.
Well, his supporters might be really confused by this next clip, Lana, because again, this is something else that they made fun of Joe Biden about, where he doesn't really know where he's at, and he's going and he's walking one place and we have to redirect him to somewhere else. Apparently, it looks as if there was an executive order that he was talking about, but he actually needed to sign it. And this is what happens when he gets up out of his chair and finally awakens from his slumber there. This is what happens.
Signing on behalf of the United States, the Honorable Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America.
I want to point out that if you heard in the beginning, the lady even said signing, so it's clear that there's an indication that he needs to sign something.
Like, what?
So here he goes.
He couldn't even get out the chair, if you know.
He looks like somebody that won an Oscar, and they always walk the wrong way off the side of the stage. Look at this guy. I think we're looking at the end, Lana.
Oh my God. Look at this.
Oh boy.
What the hell?
And no clue what he's signing. No clue.
He was sleeping for the past 20 minutes, and this is the stuff that they're hiding. He's like jumping up and like, oh, they said my name. He was so confused with what he didn't even know what he was.
No, He didn't. And you know what's funny is, so Joe Biden obviously was old, and I am starting to see a lot more. Joe Biden's in the news a lot more now because this fucking idiot, Jake Tapper, decided that with all the stuff going on in this country right now, that he decided that he needed to write a book about Joe Biden and his non-capacity during his last year of his presidency. Now, I don't think there's anybody that would deny that Joe Biden was older and he was slower. But I don't care what book you come out with. I don't care what anybody says behind the scenes. There is nothing, absolutely nothing that will convince me that what we are seeing today is in any way, shape, or form, even in the same league as Joe Biden. And I would say that if Joe Biden accomplished nothing, Joe Biden is one of the most, if not the most accomplished president of our lifetime. He's a good man, and that dude knows how to talk to people domestically. That's how he got a lot of things passed during his administration that were bipartisan. And he knows how to talk to people on the international stage, even though they might have seen Joe Biden be a little slower and heard that he was slower. There's no question the people around the world respected Joe Biden 1,000 times more than they respect this fucking dipshit. And it pisses me off that they are really going out of their way to do this shit. The fucking Democrats better learn how to play this game a little bit better, because they are losing. And the reason why they're losing is because they're doing dumb shit like this.
Democrats?
Yeah, I mean, I would say Jake Tapper probably leans more on the side, but I will also say, but you also have other Democrats piling in on this anti-Joe Biden stuff, and that we should have said something earlier, or people are like, yeah, Joe should have got out earlier. None of that means anything right now. None of it.
Yeah, I agree. I haven't heard it. I don't watch CNN either. Is that CNN?
I don't either. But if you go on social media, you go on Twitter, I will see some Democrats. I will see some people that still feel like they have to give their opinion on how or what should have happened during this last.
Oh, you're not talking about the lawmakers.
No, not necessarily. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about talking heads, and I'm talking about people like that. And again, like I said, Jake Tapper, the reason why people don't watch CNN like they used to anymore is because people like you and I don't trust them anymore. Forget about MAGA. I mean, it's people like you and I that may not trust them as much anymore, because I personally don't believe the CNNs and the media did enough to warn the American people about what was going to happen in this country. And now here we are, and now they're trying to figure out a way how to cover this properly without looking like they're being biased, or maybe they're even scared to death to do this properly, and it sucks.
Absolutely. And I wouldn't say I don't trust them, because that's something MAGA would say. So I'm not saying I don't trust them to, tell the truth, because
right. I agree. You're right. You're right.
It's like the trust is not to cover it properly, or like all angles of a story. Like they only tell part of the story and leave the other part out.
Right. There's no such thing, like I've said a million times. I'm not saying CNN puts on stories that are fake news, like they say. I think they did the country a disservice by doing the both sides thing. I think they did their job in normalizing to any effect Donald Trump when we knew this was not normal. We just knew it. And now it is beyond not normal. And I think CNN, MSNBC, all these news organizations knew this was coming as well, because they're not stupid. I mean, how many Democrats warned? Kamala Harris warned, Joe Biden warned, Hillary Clinton warned, Bill Clinton warned, Obama, Michelle, all of them warned that this was coming. And these newscasters, they knew it was coming. But this both sides thing, I think, was a disservice to this country, personally.
I think the voters were a disservice to this country.
Yeah.
Like I just do, because I think it's just personal. It's just another view. Like I think like the people who sat home or didn't vote or
Yep.
voted for Trump, I don't think that those are the same people that were looking at CNN or MSNBC and not getting like the full story. I think these people just didn't look at anything. Like I
Right.
really just don't think they
Podcasts.
yeah, exactly. Right. So like I blame just like now we are in not it's past constitutional crisis. We're just in a fucking crisis, right?
Yeah, no question.
It's not up to the media right now. It's not up to the lawmakers. It's like it's really up to Americans to be upset about the corruption that's happening in our faces. Like
But how do they get it, Lana? If they're not getting it from the media, if they're not
telling us, like, because that's the problem. Believe what you see. He is not hiding corruption,
right.
right? So, like, you don't have to go on CNN or MSNBC to know that something is not smelling good in Denmark or whatever the saying is, right? Like, you don't have to do that. He's telling you they show Trump all day, all the time. And if you listen to him and watch him, the corruption's oozing out of his mouth. Like there's no way in the world that you, like a normal person, unless you're just like checked out, think that is normal for someone to give a president a gift of a plane. Like that's just, again, because we talked about that. Like certain things should make you go,
Yeah.
unless you're like 15 or 16. But if you're a whole adult, like, and Hunter Biden, like I don't, how are we squaring this? And he's like, hey, you'd be a fool not to take it if it's free. Like that's a president.
Right.
Like what's wrong with that picture? That his sons are like making business deals all over. Like where are y'all?
I agree. There's responsibility, I think, all over the place. And when you were saying that, the first thing that popped in my head is it did remind me of the 2008 financial crisis, where there was all kinds of different people to blame. You had the buyers who went in uneducated and did not do their homework on why they really should not do this. Then you had the bankers who were taking advantage of the people who were buying, or the loan officers or whoever it was. So you had the banks and the loan officers taking advantage. I even think a lot of the loan officers probably didn't even really know what was going on, but the banks were knowing what was going on, and then they're giving these loans to unwilling or unknowing investors. So it was kind of a big mess, and that's why there was so much confusion all over the place. And there was a lot of blame to go around back then, and there's a lot of blame to go on now. I do agree with you. The voters, I 100% agree that they are responsible for this because they're not taking seriously enough the most serious things in their life. It's easy for them to understand the professional wrestling and Jerry Springer side of politics, but it's not easy to go out of your way and look at the more nuanced things that are going to benefit them or hurt them. And unfortunately, they got suckered by the Jerry Springer and professional wrestling part of it and got more drawn into that. And some of them haven't felt it yet, but they're going to. And once they do, maybe they open their eyes. But Londa, how many clips have we seen the people where they say, oh, I own the farm and I vote for Donald Trump, and now I don't have my farm anymore, but I'd vote for him again. You're just like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. It's that is just like stupid pride at that point. It's just like you just don't want to admit that you made a mistake, because you literally made a mistake. Like it's just stupid. Blacks for Trump. If someone says one racist thing, just one, why don't you vote for that?
Right.
Like he didn't hide any of the things. I mean, Michael Cohen told us that he says the N-word. So what, we could take that away. He called black countries shithole countries. Like we see how he talks about people.
He said Kamala Harris wasn't black.
Yeah, we see how he talked, and none of that None of that did a shock and awe to blacks for Trump. But now you see he's bringing in white South Africans talk about they're persecuted. I'm not saying, because they're white, I don't know the skin color, but they're persecuted. So where the fucking black ones that are persecuted if it wasn't about the skin color? Like, so now blacks for Trump, where y'all at? Like, it's so obvious what this man is doing, and why wouldn't he? Because he's a racist. Like, why wouldn't he do these things?
What about the Latinos for Trump?
Right. Exactly. That's all. Dancing with
You saw that clip of that lady. Yep.
Happy.
Yep.
And now what?
Yep.
He's literally taking away people's asylum, ripping up asylum applications. There is no asylum anymore here.
Right.
That doesn't exist.
Oh, they're trying to make sure that there is no due process for Americans now, too. And they are really going to go out of their way to threaten all Americans that if you do not agree with this administration, your ass is going to get arrested and locked up. And again, these are the kind of things. That's why I don't give a flying fuck about his little announcement with no details about the medication being brought down to 80-90%. It's all fucking theater so they can keep doing what they want and keep Americans at bay and go, I'll be a good boy or a girl because he's bringing down my medication. Let me know. You could call me and let me know when the day that actually happens. Please do me that favor. But Lana, we did bring up the jet thing that he is getting a free airplane. I think this is one of our favorite games, Lana. Imagine had Obama, Biden, or Clinton, or any other president really in normal times taken a free plane from the Saudi Arabians. And I do recall the Saudi Arabians at one point in our country's history did take a few of our airplanes as well, and they drove them into buildings into on a particular date that we all may remember. But now Donald Trump is just best buddies with the Saudis, and I think we all know why. But of course, a reporter had the balls to ask him about this airplane, and of course, I don't even have to play the clip, Juana, for everybody to know exactly which way this pussy goes.
Yeah. People who view that luxury jet as a personal gift to you, why not leave it behind?
You're ABC fake news, right?
Why not?
Only ABC. Well, a few of you would. Let me tell you.
Can't get a question.
What happened?
You should be embarrassed asking that question. They're giving us a free jet. I could say, no, don't give us. I want to pay you $1 billion or 400 million or whatever it is. Or I could say, thank you very much. You know, there was an old golfer named Sam Snead. Did you ever hear him? He won 82 tournaments. He was a great golfer. And he had a motto: when they give you a putt, you say, thank you very much. You pick up your ball and you walk to the next hole. A lot of people are stupid. They say, no, I insist on putting it. And then they putt it and they miss it. And their partner gets angry at them. You know what? Remember that, Sam Snead. When they give you a putt, you pick it up and you walk to the
I can't listen to that anymore. This is the fucking president of the United States comparing getting a free jet from the Saudi Arabians to Sam Snead saying, pick up that putt. And
he gets pissed. Like, they all get pissed. When you ask a question that they have to answer or that may hold them accountable, fake news.
Yeah.
You see, that's a stupid question. And it's just like, that was just a question.
Weak, pathetic way out every time. And again, he knows, what does he have? His flying monkeys standing behind him, shaking their head yes. The flying monkeys that are watching him on TV, celebrating that he trolled ABC. Again, these are the people amongst us, Lana. These are our coworkers. These are our neighbors. These are our family members.
But they're just stupid. Just like, okay, if that was my orange daddy and the Saudis gave him a jet, I'd be like, oh no, orange daddy, you may not want to get in that jet because it's not America's Air Force One. We didn't equip it with all the bells and whistles and the heat-seeking missile stuff and the wires that don't melt if there's some type of atomic bomb that goes off, it gets protected. Like, it's not equipped with all that. So I would be like, oh no, daddy, don't get in that plane. These dummies are like, yeah, daddy, you got a new, like, they're just so stupid. They're just so stupid. You can't even make this up. We would be like, hell no. I mean, I even heard a Republican, I forgot who the fuck it was. One of the ones we talk about all the time. He was like, I won't be getting on a plane.
No.
I'm not getting on that plane. One,
Nope.
it's a plane from a terrorist who
Right.
Hamas. That's the first thing. Two, the fuck? How do we know what's happening in that plane? If it's bugged, if it's triggered to go off, like
Right.
go up, like, are y'all fucking stupid right now? You can't even use it. They were saying like it would take literally years for that whole plane to be gutted, because that's what it would have to be, gutted and retrofitted. It would take years and millions of dollars. So we're buying the fucking plane anyway.
Right. It's just unbelievable, Lana. But you and I always like to be fair on our show as much as we can. There was a Trump flying monkey. This gentleman's name is Ryan Zinke, and he was on CNN talking about the plane. Let's give him a chance, Lana. Maybe he can convince us.
This grand gesture from Qatar, this luxury jet. You even have some Trump allies like Laura Loomer and Ben Shapiro are against it, even saying if this was Hunter Biden or Joe Biden, we would be going crazy right now. Even some Republicans in Congress have been speaking out against it.
Laura Loomer said that. What? Damn it. Come on.
This was Hunter Biden or Joe Biden, we would be going crazy right now. Even some Republicans in Congress have been speaking out against it. What do you think?
It must be one heck of a jet. Yeah, because I was with President Trump, and the current aircraft is aged. Remember, during his first couple months in office, he went to Boeing and said, "Look, you're charging us too much. It's going to take too long." He cut a deal with Boeing. Where's the plane? And all of a sudden he sees this plane, and I understand it went through Pam Bondi, so it's legal, it's ethical. Does it give the right message? Well, I hope Boeing looks up and goes, look, I got to deliver. But I got to say, it must be one heck of an aircraft.
Lana, I don't know. Did that convince you? It did go through Pam Bondi, who seems to be like a very level-headed, fair person.
What does one heck of an aircraft means? Because it has fucking gold somewhere?
I don't know. He doesn't know what to say.
It's like they're talking about Air Force One like it's some raggedy shit.
Right.
It's falling apart because it's 40 years old. But that's also a plane that they've been updating over the years. So it has all the bells and whistles in it. Like all of the bells and whistles are in Air Force One. Like they were showing pictures today. Does it have gold fucking toilets and shit? No. And like, what the fuck? He shits his pants anyway. He don't need the fucking toilet.
Correct. He's got his Depends. Very dependable. But like I said, this guy, I don't even know why you go on CNN, to be honest with you, other than you just have no pride whatsoever in yourself, especially as a man, where you are going to go on and fawn over everything that Donald Trump does and says. To me, that's about as pathetic as it gets. And I don't know, man. I've always heard growing up, you need to turn in your man card. I don't know how any of them even have them anymore because this is so pathetic. It's sad. It's really sad.
Yeah. You just got to put your balls in a sack by the door when you join the Republican Party.
Well, Lana, I mean, everybody says that Donald Trump is the manliest of all men and that he definitely has got the gold man card. After watching this clip, I'm not so sure. This is him talking to the Saudi prince when he went to Saudi Arabia. This is, I don't know. Tell me what you think after you see what Donald Trump had to say to him.
And the United States is the hottest country, with the exception of your country, I have to say, right? I'm not going to take that on. No, Mohammed, I'm not going to take that on. Wouldn't that be a terrible thing if I made that full statement? But I will not do it. You're hotter.
Why does it
At
look
least
like
as long as I'm
Elon
up here,
with
you're
that?
hotter. But groceries, gasoline.
I mean, Lana, again, if Biden went to Saudi Arabia and said anything remote to that, what were you saying?
No, it looked like Elon was there.
Oh, Elon's there with him.
Oh, he is. Okay. I'm like,
Yeah.
is that Elon? Oh, sorry. Okay. I'm like, that looks like Elon.
Yep.
Oh, rich. There we go.
I mean, this guy, I've seen him now bow down to Vladimir Putin. Now he's bowing down to the Saudi prince. He's bowing down to President Xi because he's trying to pretend like there was some victory on the tariffs in China. There's obviously no victory whatsoever. It's just another mess that he created. He knew he created the mess. People around him told him, we've got to get out of this somehow. We'll paint it the best way we possibly can. And they're trying to scream victory, but there was no victory. I mean, it's just another one of these stupid 90-day pauses too. I mean, this is a joke. This is a fucking joke. This is not the art of the deal. This is a joke. This whole administration's a joke, Alana.
Yeah, it's a game. 90 days. Like, what are we pausing for 90 days? And there's still tariffs that were higher than they were before. So what's the purpose here? And why are they paused? And how does this bring manufacturing to America? Because I still have to continue to ask that question because that was what he said originally. So what are all these deals for if the goal is to bring manufacturing back to America? Why are we making deals? Like, I don't understand what's happening. Right?
The other thing is, Lana, let's just say American jobs came here, manufacturing jobs came to the United States of America. Two things. Number one, anybody with half a brain would know that a lot of these manufacturing jobs are going to be, they're going to be basically employed by bots and AI, not by American workers. And the American workers that they do have to pay, they have to pay a significant amount more than they would when they get these things from overseas. So either way, prices are going up. And these bots and AI, they're not cheap either. So it's not like this is cheap labor. Maybe eventually when you do the math, they break even at some point, then they make profit. But you have to spend a lot of money for these machines, these bots, and or these robots and all that stuff. This idea that manufacturing jobs are coming back, and by the way, not every single part and every single thing is going to be made in the United States of America. It's just stupid.
It's just impossible. There's certain things that we don't produce here. It's just a fact.
But Lana, too, why do we keep pretending like we're a second or third world country? We still dominate the economic side of everything. We are the richest country in the world our entire lives. They're acting like that we are so far behind. We might be far behind in some things like technology with China and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, economically, we are not behind anybody. Militarily, we're not behind anybody. I mean, this is just so insane. The narrative that people keep using so they can defend this fucking moron. But
we may be the next 4 years behind in all of those things. Honestly, we're definitely going to be behind in research.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh God. Medical research. We're going to be in big trouble. And, we will be far ahead, though, in the Christian nationalist movement, which is for some bizarre reason, people think that that's a great idea for our country. All that means is that people like Donald Trump and his multi-billionaire friends will be running this country while everybody else is begging, please help us, please help us. But these fucking idiots never get it, and they never will. Maybe they will at some point, but Lana, there was another immigrant invasion that happened into our country the other day, and they caught it on video. I want you to see this and look how scary this is. Tell me what you notice in this invasion. It's a little different than the other ones that Fox News reports on. These are white people from South Africa. and they are not only flown here to this country on taxpayer money, they are welcomed here. And I wonder why they're welcome here. Do you have any idea, Lana?
I mean, could it be their skin color? It looked like they had a South African MAGA casting call. Because
Well,
they literally look like MAGA, and that's on purpose. So you can't tell me, because everything is a production. So there's no way that wasn't on purpose. And yeah, white folks, the white persecuted. Oh gosh, equality. Equality looks like persecution.
You know what I'm going to do? Just like they do. I'm going to say, they welcome these people in here and they gave them 3 monster trucks with flags on them already and housing painted in Trump. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to fuck it. You know what?
Government is, no, I did that. I wrote tweets like that. You know what they say? Well, they won't be on there long. These people are educated and they have their family members. It's like, how the fuck do you know that they're educated? Like, how do you know that? We're just assuming because what? They're white. They'll be easily acclimated because, yeah, we don't know if their husbands are rapists. Like, we have no idea if these, what?
Well, and again, in fairness, Donald Trump did explain why they did come here when somebody did ask him about it. So let's listen to his explanation. And maybe, again, Lana, we're going to give him a chance.
Dozens of Afrikaners who claim discrimination in their home country are heading to the United States, where your administration is going to welcome them as refugees. Now, this comes as you've halted virtually all refugee admissions for people fleeing famine and war from countries like Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Why are you creating an expedited path into the country for Afrikaners but not others?
Because they're being killed, and we don't want to see people be killed.
I see.
Now, South Africa leadership is coming to see me, I understand, sometime next week. And, we're supposed to have I guess a G20 meeting there or something, but we're having a G20 meeting. I don't know how we can go unless that situation's taken care of, but it's a genocide that's taking place that you people don't want to write about, but it's a terrible thing that's taking.
Shouldn't they be welcoming Palestinians in too? If that's from what I heard, the same thing is happening there. And it's my understanding that a lot of the people from Mexico coming over to this country is because of the horrific conditions that they have in their country as well. But for some reason, Lana, this one counts more than all the other ones.
Well, that's a lie, right? So I don't want to get people confused with this one counts because they're white and they've been persecuted and genocide, because there is no persecution and there's no genocide. Like, so to get that straight, right then and there, you can even ask Grok, which is Elon's baby.
I go to Grok all the time when I try to.
No.
Yep.
They are not being murdered. There is no genocide and there is no persecution. Like, so people don't understand apartheid, I guess. They don't know what persecution means. They don't know the history of South Africa. They don't know that the Black people in South Africa in the early 1900s had all their land stolen from these people. And now, because South Africa has a new president, now they're going to court. So they're not even running in on anyone's farm and seizing it. They're going through a court process to prove that this is their land so they can get their land back. Why can't people get the land back that was fucking stolen? Like, stop playing with me right now. That's why I said, like, equality looks like persecution to them. Because, oh my God, they're taking the land that we stole. We're taking the land. No. White people make up 7% of South Africa, but own 76% of all the businesses.
That's crazy.
How is that persecution? These motherfuckers probably don't even have farms. Like, they probably have, like, stop playing. These people look like they've been eating really, really, really well.
Right.
All of them.
Do you know why I haven't seen it, and I don't know if I've even looked into it, to be honest with you. Do you know why this group of people, I think it was like 50 of them, why they were chosen over other people? Do you have any idea?
Maybe not a lottery, Brian. Like seriously, how would we know the truth?
Oh, we won't. Not from this administration.
Right. That's why I say these people probably never owned
I
farms.
thought maybe a journalist might have,
I hope so. They're like shitty farmers. And it's funny because there's a woman, a white woman broke down, black guy did too, because she's from South Africa living there. Just like the plight of white people there. There is no plight. There's zero plight. If you have farm, whether you're white or black, they have a problem with like people trying to rob farms in general across the board. White farmers, black farmers are being just robbed. It's a crime problem, not a persecution problem. And again, it's something odd about people who picked up their lives to come to America. Like it's something not right here. I'm sorry. I don't know if I totally believe it. Like, I wouldn't put it past this administration to fly these people in, do this stunt and show, and fly them the fuck back out.
Right. That's, you know what? You're right. That's exactly right.
Fly them back
This
home.
might be just a 2-week vacation.
Facts. Like, I don't believe it.
But I mean,
Oh.
what is the benefit of them saying, watch the, I mean, is this a troll act? I mean, is this what this is?
But that's all they do to us, troll, and then they do that red meat thing. Like, I just feel like it furthers the divide, and they win when we're divided.
Right.
Like, it just makes the division even further, and it solidifies what he's doing here in America, because you can see it's happening there. They're being murdered, right? So we don't take care of it here, you're going to be murdered too, white people.
Yeah.
Because that's what he's doing. Like, that's the preparation of sending black people and brown people to friggin' Libya. Now he wants to send them. Like, you know, like he's just, it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of scary shit coming. You know, when you hear, and again, I don't know if this is necessarily a distraction, but you still have to take it seriously when they say stuff like, we are trying to eliminate habeas corpus in this country. I mean, that is serious shit. And if they actually could do it, they absolutely would do it. They want the full power over everything. And they've got, again, I use the term flying monkeys to back them to go, this is awesome. Yes, these libs are being trolled now and they can't say a word. We now dominate this country. And if they even open their mouth and say anything about this presidency or this administration, fuck them. I don't give a shit. But at the end of the day, they also don't realize how that's bad for them. They just don't. And, you know, at some point, like I said, Lana, I don't know how we get out of this. I am still skeptical that we do. I think it gets worse and worse and worse. 2026, I'll be honest with you, you might as well wrap it all up if the Democrats don't win the House and the Senate.
Yeah.
I mean, or at least the House, the very least the House. If they don't win the House, then it's done. I just have a bad feeling it's done. And I do believe that they will continue, because this is a multi-decades plan. This is not something that has just started over the last 4 to 8 years. This has been going on for fucking decades. Do you know how long the Republicans have been trying to overturn Roe versus Wade? Do you know how long they did not give up on doing that? They will continue to fucking burn this country down for as long as they can until they get what they want. And that's why I am concerned that, you know, even if they don't get past 2026, they will somehow make it to where it'll be impossible to win 2028 and everything else from there on. And you're going to have people in this country that are convinced the reason why Donald Trump and this party keeps winning is because the left has gone so crazy. And that's what I was pissed off about earlier when I talked about that the media has not done their job in trying to explain to everybody, listen, I know this sounds biased on our end, but we are here to tell you these two are not the fucking same. One is very dangerous. One is not dangerous the way this party is. If it was the other way around, we report it the other way around. But we are scared to death of this administration. We're scared to death of Donald Trump, obviously. We're scared to death of their flying monkeys. And that's a large reason, in my opinion, as to why we're here. And it sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I will shout out to Democrats because they are going to these town halls and, like, you know, we do a lot of complaining about them and they don't do credit because, you know, people don't hear about it. But not only are they going to town halls, they're going to Republican districts and doing town halls. And that's the ground game that we have to continue to do. So we do get to 2026, like we have to lay that groundwork. And that's part of laying the groundwork is like, you know what, your elected official won't be here, but I will be here for you. So that's going to mean a lot come 2026. So I hope they continue to do that. And I think that they will. I think that they understand that they have to go and meet people where they are. The same thing that we say, they know. They're not stupid. They understand, like, full-fledged crazy MAGA, no one's reaching them. But like the independents and the people who voted for Trump one time and thought like, wow, I didn't think it would be like this. Those are the people you can win back.
That's where I think we get them because it's a small percentage that they need to win back. And, you know, people always said I understood 2016. He was new and he was shaking up the system. Didn't really know about what he would do and how he would do it. So fuck it. Let's just vote for him. But we've gone through 4 years of him. And not only he got more votes this time around, but it was not because people thought that legitimately he was a better choice. It's because they were brainwashed into thinking he was a better choice. And it was by a lot of outlets and a lot of, again, I do blame partially the media because when you have one side that is shitting on Democrats 100% of the time and they're praising Donald Trump 100% of the time, then you have the other side that is praising Democrats 50% of the time and shitting on them the other half. You already have one side that's shitting on them, but when you have the other side that's half shitting on them, then people are like, oh, well, maybe they are crazy. Let's bring this guy back in because interest rates were lower when he was president.
Right.
Just stupid.
Yeah.
And speaking of stupid, again, Lana, when we talk about people, when they eventually see what could possibly happen to them, this was on Fox News today talking about something that could happen to your Medicaid. Not could happen. That is about to happen to your Medicaid.
Energy Committee releasing its portion of the reconciliation legislation late last night. The bill cuts from Medicaid.
Oh my God. Damn it. Let's try this again, Lana. No.
House Energy Committee releasing its portion of the reconciliation legislation late last night. The bill cuts from Medicaid and adds work requirements and more frequent eligibility checks.
Yep. Get ready because it is coming. And what was the wait, I got to go back and hear that again. The House
Energy Committee releasing
House Energy Committee. So that's kind of their God damn it. That's kind of their strategy, Lana. Is what they're doing is, so instead of putting specific cuts in the bill, they're giving them to specific entities like the House Energy Committee. So when the House Energy Committee makes that cut, they can blame it on them and not blame it on their administration. Now, smart people understand this, but stupid people won't. But although I'll also say, I don't know how far deep the stupid people are going to look into the House Energy Committee.
Exactly. It's just, it happens when it happens on his watch. It happens on his watch.
Right.
Any other way.
Yep.
They
So
try. I mean, one guy on Twitter today, when he says like, they're not taking people off of, I think he said Medicaid, I don't know, Medicare. He's like, they're just taking the illegals off of it. That's what they mean when they say cutting. I'm like,
fun stuff. All right, Lana, our last clip. This is basically, we play this game almost every week, and it is the most inept administration of all time. And when things fuck up under their watch, what they do is they like to blame it on the previous administration. There have been some problems at the Newark airport where the air traffic control, they're losing signal with planes that are coming in. There's all kinds of delays going on at the Newark airport. And the MTV guy who is now in charge of transportation, what the fuck, Scott Duffy, he apparently was on MTV. I don't know which one. It was The Real World or Rules or some shit like that. Well, now he's in charge of transportation, Lana, and they were asking him about it. And of course, this is what he had to say, very much like his orange daddy would do.
We've all been reporting and seeing what's happening at Newark Airport. And I think it is clear that the blame belongs with the last administration.
Of course.
Pete Buttigieg and Joe Biden did nothing to fix the system that they knew was broken.
How clear is it to you, Lana? I mean, when you heard about Newark Airport, was the first thing that you thought about Pete Buttigieg and Joe Biden fucked us again?
like it's just, and it's so funny because so with that Duffy guy, I've been waiting for him to blame it on Biden, and he hadn't. Somebody must have said, you need to start blaming it on Biden, because he wasn't. Like every time he was not doing that. And I was baffled by like, oh, that's odd that he's not. He got the memo.
Oh, yeah.
This on us. This isn't us. This is Biden.
How in the fuck did he not get that memo before then? I mean, because that to me seems to be like the game plan no matter what. If any reporter asks you anything, all you do is say the previous administration. Well, sir, what if it's 2027? I don't give a flying fuck. You say it was Biden and Pete Buttigieg and anybody else that you could think of in your feeble little brain about who used to work in that administration. Just blame it on them. Do you know why? Because we have a group of flying fucking monkeys that will go ahead and believe it. Have you not figured that out yet?
Right. No, they haven't. They don't get it. They don't understand. They don't understand anything. They don't understand how Congress works. They don't understand how bills are passed. They don't understand how like money is divvied up for certain things. Like they just don't get it. And which is hilarious too, because again, there's a whole border package still sitting around somewhere to give money to like more judges and stuff. He's like, nah, we don't need more judges. We don't
build a border wall, more money for the wall.
We don't need any of that. We're just going to spend all the money to just disappear people.
Yep. But you know what they do understand, Lana? Somehow they do understand that pets were being eaten in Ohio. They do understand that Social Security money was being paid to millions of people who were already dead. They believe that the election was stolen. And I could go on and on and on and on. But, you know, again, this is what we're up against. And as Lana said, there's no getting those people. It is just a cult. And you know what, if I'm the Democrat Party, I say, fuck it. I get I get a team of people that are experts in cults and how to talk to them and how to find a way to get messages out there that may get people out of these cults. I know that sounds like a joke, but they fucking need to start thinking outside the box with these people because it's insane.
It's true. I can't even fight it. It's true. It is insane. They need to be deprogrammed.
Yep. All right, Lana, I saw that you made a surprise appearance last Friday night.
I did. On
your show. Because you had some important things to report. There was something going on in New Jersey. And something going on not far. Well, how far is Worcester from you?
It's not close.
Oh, God.
No.
Yeah.
It's not close. It's not cool. Oh my God. Sorry.
Is it your dog?
The arrogance.
Your dog can do whatever he wants. Your dog's a superstar. Look at that doggy. Aw. Yeah, in fact, next time, have the dog on the entire show.
The whole time. Then he can just do my part.
Yeah. The dog, no question, is good, but nobody's as good as you, Lana. And that's why I am going to tell everybody you're a fool if you have not subscribed to the Quest Show by this point. I'm not really sure what you're doing. There's something seriously wrong with you. So if you want to remove that moniker from your title as being a dipshit, then I would go directly to the Quest Show and subscribe right now. I would subscribe to this show as well, if you don't mind, and hit the like button. Let's do all that bullshit.
Lana,
right.
Share, like, and all of that. And head on over to your TikTok because you'll be on there.
Yeah, I am on there. I'm definitely on the TikTok now, Lana. It's mental gymnastics, that's for sure. But it's been kind of fun.
I don't know.
Talking to all kinds of people, white supremacists and all kinds of fun morons.
Yeah, I think about it, but then I go, oh, God.
You actually, Lana, I think I want to see you on there.
No, I mean, I will. Like, I just have to carve the time out. Like, it's just carving the time.
You should do some lives. I mean, because it's, like I said, you start to gain, we got a nice little community now. I got, a lot of people that show up all the time. And there is a lot of like-minded people and very, very, very intelligent people who come up and talk as well, which is beneficial, I think, for all of us.
Right.
And then there's also a lot of Trump supporters that come up. Some of them full-fledged MAGA morons. Some of them want to have actual dialogue. Some just want to come in and yell, but either way. I love it. I love it because something's wrong with me. But,
no, I get it. I definitely get the feeling. Like, I mean, I get that on Twitter, right? Like, so I have my own community on Twitter, right? So like you found that niche right there on TikTok. And I've kind of found mine on Twitter where I have like the same people that are always in my replies. I have my group, you know what I mean? So like, same thing, it's just not live.
Yeah, I think it would be fun for you every once in a while. I don't know if you want to do it every night, but I think it'd be fun for you calling up some of those MAGAs and straightening them out.
Like a Friday or something like that.
Yeah. And obviously you would never be surprised, but just get ready. The N-word's flying. Everything's going to fly on there and they'll run away, but
I wouldn't mind doing the spaces either. Have you done that?
Never done spaces. No. See, I think you could probably do that better than me, obviously, because you've got so many followers on Twitter. I've almost got as many TikTok followers as I do Twitter followers already. And I've only been on a couple months.
Right.
So, when I do those lives, I click out of it and I see 220 people followed me just in that time, and it's added up and made a little money too, but
that's always good to make money.
Yeah. So, but it is fun. I think you would enjoy it, for a time or two, but I know you can handle it. That's why I think you would love it.
Yeah, I will at some point.
Yeah. But, and anytime you're kind of flipping through, obviously feel free to come sit on my panel and you can join in.
Yeah. I know, just any night. I'm like,
yeah, I know. I think you like your thing on Twitter.
Yeah.
The only way to really grow it is you have to put in the work on it. And
absolutely.
And that's what I'm doing. I've dedicated myself. I said, I'm going to put in the work to grow it as much as I can. Yeah. And you know what's going to happen, Lana? I know exactly what the fuck is going to happen. I'm going to grow it to a really good place, and then TikTok will be gone.
Yeah.
That.
Maybe it's not. So many people depend on it. I don't think.
I hope not. And by the way, I do promote this show too on TikTok a lot. So we've gotten some subscribers from it too.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. That's awesome.
But anyway, Lana, you're the best. I will, if you're going to be on Thursday night, please check out her show. She may not. She may make another Friday surprise appearance. Who knows?
I don't know, but I did.
If some breaking news happens, Lana will be on. So, but Lana, you know, I love always seeing you. You're the best. Please join us again. We'll be back next Tuesday, 7:00. Black and White, Brian Rundle with Lana Quest. Lana, any final words?
Nah, I'm going to find my kid and see where she is.
More important than that, go find your kid, Lana.
I'll talk to you later.
All right. Have a good night. Bye.